Alright guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to give a quick update on the amusement park before we get back to some of the modular sections and then with the neighborhood and the forest area. I made some updates over the last couple weeks, especially with the big coaster. So here in a second I'm going to show that in action. I was having problems with it going around and it not making the full loop, so I had to rearrange everything, which actually took 3 or 4 hours to get everything to finally work right. But it is working now, much better than it has in the past. So in a second I'm going to show you some clips of it going in from a couple different angles, plus we'll be able to see the rest of the amusement park. I won't go in as much detail as I did before because you can go and watch my other video if you want to see close-ups of the entire amusement park and some of the hidden Easter eggs and whatnot. So here in a second we'll look at it in action. So here's the big coaster in action. Then we can see behind it is the Ferris wheel going. In the very, very back, there's a smaller second coaster. That one's not running yet. I don't have it hooked up to a Lego motor. The plan is to eventually enlarge it and then have it hooked up with the motor so that it'll go in a continuous cycle like the big coaster. So we'll see the people go down the hill, through the loop and around, and then to the back side. And then here in a second we're going to see the train coming around as everything else is running as well. So this train goes around the entire city on the upper level, and then to the right side you can see some train tracks. That's for a second train. From a different angle, this is with everything running. So we got the train that's going to loop around the amusement park and then go around the entire city. The carousel, the Ferris wheel, the scrambler, and then the big coaster. We see it going up the incline right now, about to go down and through the loop, and then back around to the back side where it goes up another train assisted incline and around. Here it is from the back side of the park. The part to the left side is what I just recently added, so that there's a tunnel for the lower train to go through. I just need to fill something in with all that green space, probably moving a forest over to that area. That gray structure in the middle is the bumper cars, and there's a parking lot, so there goes the upper level train, and here comes the lower level one in front of the waterfall, and it'll go around and through the tunnel and back to the other way. Like I said, all that empty green space, I need to put something there, but it's probably just going to be a bunch of trees and forestry. Here will come the lower level train. It's coming out from underneath the tunnel under the modular section. Goes in front of the parking lot to the amusement park, in front of the bumper cars, in front of the waterfall, and then it goes around into that tunnel underneath the coaster, then it'll come back out. And then obviously the way it came from, it does the same thing on the other side to make one big hairpin loop. Now we can take a closer look at the coaster and some of the amusement park. With everything turned off, I'm going to save on the batteries in my Lego motors. They go incredibly fast, especially on the coaster. Those motors just burn up those batteries. So that's where I put the battery and the motor for the coaster, with Mr. T working as one of my mechanics. There's the incline. Up at the top is Craven and Spider-Girl fighting. There's the apex. Then it goes down before the loop. And what we're going to see right before the loop is a camera to take a shot for the people to buy after they get off the ride as a souvenir. Again, here's the new part that I just recently added, all that green space that I'm going to have to just put some flowers and trees on. And then this is towards the end of the coaster and how it goes around. And then there's the train station for the next people to get on. So there's the top of the pavilion. I used a ton of my brick separators that I just had no use for really, so I found a somewhat good use for them. There are the people on the coaster, the line, the scrambler in the back. And then we'll move around for a shot of the back side of the coaster, and then you'll see how I have a second incline. Putting them next to each other was able to use one motor for both of them to work at the same time. Onto the middle of the park, where you can see the back side of the coaster, the lines forming for the Ferris wheel and the carousel. See some of the Easter eggs like Sonic as a mascot. There's Shaggy and Scooby. The path I made out of reddish brown plates, I like the look of the dirt over the green grass. There was the cyclone. Like I said, I need to get that motorized here shortly. And then you can see the backside of the pond. And we'll take one last look from the backside of the park, where we can see the smaller coaster, the bumper cars, carousel, pond, Ferris wheel, scrambler, and then the big coaster. And then we have the lower all around in front of the waterfall there. And then in the foreground, I added a pirate ship from the last time I made a video. You can see the old school pirate captain up top, and there's Jack Sparrow walking the plank with, I didn't have much time, so I just made a makeshift octopus tentacles coming out, which is a reference to the movie Goonies, which also leads to the backside where we see Sloth getting away with the treasure on a rowboat. And then there's the bumper cars, the pond and waterfall, leading over to the parking lot. And you see the entrance. There's 7 flags because this park is one better than 6 Flags. I know, it's a terrible joke. Anyway, here's one last look at the amusement park with everything running. And then hopefully in a week or two I can do another video that shows the opposite side of town, where we show the beach, the forest, the dog park, the sold, and then all the houses that are in the neighborhood, and maybe even the farm. Then after I do that video, I'm probably going to tear down some of it and move everything around. So I'll see you next time. Thanks.